Forge It workshop focused on creating your own web series. My name is Jennifer DeMarco, and I'm your instructor for these 16 classes. This is Class 2. Today we'll be talking about POV, theme, central question, and your tagline. We're continuing to build that good story that your series will use as its foundation. Let's start with POV. You may have heard of POV before. It stands for point of view. But let's make sure we're talking about the same POV. I'm not talking about a camera angle. I'm not talking about where your camera is looking. I'm talking about the point of view for your series. Is your series going to be told from one character's point of view? Or maybe your series will be told from several characters' point of view. If you're going to tell your series from one character's point of view, then they must be in every scene. Unless they see something, the audience shouldn't see it. That's a tight first-person perspective. If that's what you want, that can be very powerful, because then as new things are revealed to our main character, the audience is also revealed those things. And that can be, well, it connects your audience with your character. However, that isn't the only way to do something. You can also tell the story from several characters' point of view, from the teenage son, the teenage daughter, and the mother and the father. That way you tell the full story. You can get different people's perspectives. And also you do get to write in a different voice. It's not just about writing dialogue. Obviously, no matter whose point of view you tell the story from, you'll get to write dialogue for many different types of characters. But telling a story from a character's point of view means that you get to write more as an adult, more as a teen boy, more as a teen girl, whatever it is. That is ultimately your decision. What point of view do you feel the most comfortable writing from? Find that, and then ask yourself, is that the most powerful point of view to tell the story I want to tell? That's a trickier question. Sometimes you might think, this particular episode would be much more powerful told from the brother's point of view. Well, then maybe you want to have a multiple point of view series. But don't change with every scene. Don't confuse people. Do it selectively. Make an educated decision each time you change the point of view, because remember, your audience has to readjust. Don't do it just to do it. Find something that works for the story that you want to tell. That's proper POV. Let's move on to theme. Now, don't confuse the theme of your series as the genre of your series. Your genre may very well have certain rules that you need to adhere to. Your genre might say, if you want to be true, you have to have fairies or spaceships or race cars. Your theme is more fluid. For instance, with my show Ghost Sniffers, the genre is a dramedy, a drama and a comedy. But the theme is a ghost hunting show. Your theme is your basic structure. What is your theme? Is it a haunted house? Is it dark and dismal? Is it bright and lighthearted? Is your theme silly? Is your theme colorful? What will stay the same no matter what your episodes show? No matter what my Ghost Sniffers episodes show my audience, there is always some sense that these characters are ghost hunters. Their focus is on solving paranormal mysteries. Even if they're not involved in a straight investigation of a haunted location, they are ghost hunters, and that is clear. What is your theme? Superheroes? Family? Gardeners? Bakers? Find your theme. Think about it now. Themes can also be more esoteric. For instance, a theme could be change. A lot of the images that you show in your plots could revolve around change. The seasons changing, a person changing, one thing changing to another, a kind of metamorphosis. Your theme might be the ocean. Even if the series doesn't take place right on the ocean, perhaps the ocean is a reoccurring theme. You keep coming back to it. Color can even be a theme. Colorfulness, lack of color, certain colors, those can be your themes. Themes often help a writer when they get stuck. Themes can also help structure an episode that might need a little bit more foundation to stand on. Themes can also be important to your audience if it's a theme that speaks to them. Childhood, feeling awkward in school, moving to a new place, the forest, isolation. Find your theme, and remember, your theme should be series-wide, not changeable episode to episode. This will help your series tie together. People will look for it, even if they're only doing it subconsciously. That is theme. The central question. The central question for your series may or may not ever actually be said aloud by one of the characters. It may simply be implied. It may actually be the heart of your series, the thing that drives your series forward. With a central question, they often do begin with what? With ghost sniffers, the question might be, what if children with disabilities were granted superpowers? That could certainly power quite a good number of episodes. With my film, Takers, the central question is, what happens when you force connection between individuals? What is the central question for your series? What are you asking? A lot of times writers ask themselves this question to find their central question. Why am I writing this series? Now, sure, you could answer that by saying, I want to write a series to star in, or I want to write a series to build awareness of miniature chihuahuas. Whatever your reasoning is, turn it into a question. What if everyone actually knew how delicate, how loyal, and how incredibly intelligent miniature chihuahuas really are? They shouldn't be just the subject of so many jokes. They're not just logos for fast food companies. They are a serious creature. That could work. Find your central question. If you can't find it as the writer, then maybe think about what the central question might be by pretending in your mind that you are the central character. What is their central question? What drives them? Try it from both perspectives. You might have noticed by now that a lot of these things tie together. Genre, theme, POV, central question, even your 9 milestones. They should. These different elements of your series should fit relatively seamlessly together. You don't want your theme to be in direct conflict with your genre, or vice versa. You want these things to fit together like a puzzle. Your central question should tie everything together. It should work for your genre, which we learned about in class 1. It should work for your theme. It should work for your point of view. That is very important. Your tagline. What is it? What does it do? When do we use it? Yes, we've all seen taglines on movie posters. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen a movie poster without a tagline. A tagline is sometimes referred to as the motto. It's that little tiny sentence, a couple of words. Actually, it usually isn't even a whole sentence. It's less than 10 words, sometimes less than 5. I've even seen one as short as 3. The tagline has one primary, vital responsibility. It makes people want to watch your show, your series, your film, whatever it is. It's your hook. It doesn't tell people everything. It doesn't give them character names or plot development. It doesn't give them facts. It hooks them in. It gives them just enough that they want to know more. In some ways, it might make them ask more questions than it provides them with answers. For Ghost Sniffers, I used the tagline for season 1 of "Give up the sniff." I liked that. It was silly, it was catchy, it had alliteration, but it made people wonder, what was this show about? What is the sniff? For my show Jericho House, sorry, I shouldn't really call it a show, for my film Jericho House, that is being shot in small segments, like a series. The tagline is, "Some families are better off shattered." Now, Jericho House is a very dark project, and so it has a very dark tagline. Your tagline should fit your series. It should fit your theme. If your theme is darker, it should be darker. If your theme is silly, it should be silly. The tagline helps set the mood, set the tone, and hooks the audience. I have never kept the first tagline that I write for a project. I usually write 10, 20, even 30 taglines until finally I can boil it down to what I really want to say. And a lot of authors say, look to the central question. Deal with your central question. Now, your tagline doesn't have to reference your central question. Some people even say your tagline can be your central question. I don't think that's entirely true. I have very rarely used my central question as my tagline. But you can begin there. This is again where brainstorming comes into play. If you're nervous to write in draft form, if you're nervous to write down a rough draft list, you need to get over that now. Just like in class 1, when we talked about exploring genre, you have to be willing to throw everything out that you've come out with so far and choose something new. But you have to begin somewhere. With your taglines, use lined paper. See if you can fill every single line, even if number 2 is the one that you wind up using and the one that you love. It's also okay at this point to show your taglines to other people. Tell them absolutely nothing about your series and ask them, if it had this tagline, if this tagline were on the movie poster or the series icon, what would you think? What would you ask? Not just, would you want to know more or would you watch? Because of course they're going to tell you yes because they care about you. But instead say, what would you ask yourself? What would you want to know? Write down what they say because they are part of your audience. I'll share with you a trick that I use for taglines. I love to do it actually. Maybe it's just an excuse to do something I like to do. I like to go to the movies. No, I don't have to watch every movie, but I like to look at the posters. I see what other people are using for their taglines. I write down in a little notebook how many words were in their tagline. Was it an actual question? Did it mention any specific topic? Did it use any of the same words as another tagline? Most movie theaters have their posters displayed facing the parking lot. You don't even have to go into the lobby. And like I said, movie posters show their taglines. Sometimes DVD cases don't. So a movie theater and looking at the actual posters is the best way to go. Now, if you want to know the tagline for a film that isn't in the theaters anymore, try doing a Google search and then clicking images. This should show, for instance, if you were to type in the name of the movie and then the word poster, this should show you scans of the posters and you can read the tagline. Just a good trick to keep in mind. Today, we've talked about POV, theme, central question, and tagline. 4 more steps to build that foundation of words that you need for your web series. You should be getting excited about writing now. Your web series is starting to come together in your mind to become more real. Even if it's just rough drafts, you have your 9 milestones, and you have a lot of your other building blocks, like your point of view, your theme, your central question, your tagline, your genre. You know what other shows to study, and you've studied them. It's almost time to start writing. I'll see you for our next class.